We are in Florida, County Orange. Investor is the buyer type. Okay, so we're gonna go over Tiki Timber Lane. Okay, it's a nice house built in 1997. Only got 3 photos up. So let's look at some more photos. Just copy paste the address, punch it into Google, and it'll bring up more photos. For some reason, I don't know why it doesn't have any more photos, but Zillow should have more photos. Yep. So, this house needs some paint. The flooring looks pretty good. Baseboard looks decent. The kitchen definitely needs to be rehabbed. Flooring looks outdated. That tile needs to go. That cork flooring needs to go. The bathrooms need a little update. Has a nice pool. That's awesome. Okay, so alright, now let's run these numbers. Let's see how we can determine this value. Now, guys, as you know, I need you to make relationships with a real estate agent, preferably a broker who is registered to bid on HUD. That broker will go ahead and ask them permission to get on the MLS. Now, the reason we want to get on the MLS is, and every local state has its own MLS, the multiple listing service. You want to make sure that you have that relationship with that realtor in order to have access to this. Now, the reason it's so important is because it's going to allow you to zero in on the county. In this case, it's Orange County. Okay. Property address. Okay, in this case, we have to delete all this extra stuff. All it's asking for is the street. Okay, and hit search. While that's loading, I'm also going to do another. See, so on the MLS, I got 2 places to run comps. I got the iMaps and I got the quick search. Alright, so same thing goes for your local MLS. It should have, and you can tell your agent, you can refer to this video. Hey, look, I'm looking for something like this. The quick search and the iMaps. What do we have in our state that's similar to that? And I'm sure they'll tell you right away. Oh yeah, we have this. It may be called different, but it's all the same thing. It's just allowing you to tap into the database of recently sold. So here I click sold from 0 to the last 90 days. I'm also going to put pending from 0 to the last 90 days. Alright, and we're going to go out a half a mile out. Okay, now what we're doing is basically we're looking to see the sold and the pending houses, alright, in the last 90 days that are half a mile from that property. Now, to look at a map, just to kind of get a visual of what I'm talking about. So here's the property, and these are properties. The red ones are sold, okay, and the yellow ones are pending. So as you can see, why it's very important to do that, because more than likely the houses in the area are going to be very similar to the one that you're doing research on. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and see now. Okay, here is the square footage of these houses. Here is the prices they sold for, the bedroom, bath, and the years. Okay, ours has a pool. Alright, this one is a private pool. Okay, so here we go. And ours is located in Chellington subdivision. The reason I know that's because when I went here to the tax report, the subdivision is Chellington. Okay, so that the subdivision basically is the community where the house was built in. Okay, so look, this thing went all cash in 4 days for $120 a square foot. This one went for $123 a square foot. This is the sold price per square foot. This is very important. Alright, mind you, these houses don't have pools. This one has a pool, but it's sold for less square footage. Our house was built in 1997, 1993, 1977, 1998. So these two are very similar to the one we're looking at, 97 and the 98. Obviously we determined that because of the year and the single family style home. Okay, if you want, you could click on it to definitely get a better view. Yep, that looks like a bit of our house. Look, the next one. So for 123, yep, our house is actually bigger and it has a pool. Isn't that awesome? So if we do the math, okay, at the price per square foot, let's just say 125, because remember we have a pool. 125 per square foot times, that's just to round it off, okay guys, times our square footage. Square footage is how big the house is inside. That's 1493, okay, times 1,493 square feet. So every square foot in that house at $125 a square foot is makes that house worth 187. Okay, so here on your numbers, okay, everybody will have this Excel spreadsheet. Oh man, Excel spreadsheet did not pop up. Okay. Oh man, where'd you go? Forbes, did you see how I came up with that?
Yeah.
Definitely did.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna want to have the property address. Okay, you want to have the list price. In this case is 154,000. Okay, you just check that. Looking over here, list price. All right. You're gonna have ARV, which is the after repair value. In our case, it's 187,000. Okay. You want to have cost to sell. Guys, a cost to sell is a very important number to determine, to factor in on an early point while doing your numbers. It's basically saying that even when the house is all fixed, okay, the renovation. By the way, just off the photos, I saw this house. This house probably needs $20,000. Somebody can make it happen. That's anywhere from 20 to 25. We're just gonna go with 20 because yeah, I just think somebody could do it. Let's just say in between number, which is 22.5. Okay, that way you're good. So now cost to sell is about 7% of your ARV. Okay, so whatever your ARV, you're gonna take away 7% of that as your cost to sell. Why? What is that? Well, in a transaction, 3% goes to the listing agent. Okay, which is the agent that's basically listing the property for the seller. And when you're all done fixing this house, you'll become the seller again. You're gonna sell that house. So that 3% comes out of there, and then 3% for the buyer's agent. Okay, that buyer's agent is the guy that might be representing a buyer from out of state that came in and contacted him first before your listing agent, and he saw the MLS ad because it's going to be on the MLS. So that's already a 6% cost to sell. Plus, I want to say about 1.5 in closing costs, but we just left it at 1%. So that's why we came up with the 7%. But let's just, for starter's sake, let's just leave it at 1.5%. Actually, no, we could do 1%. Because we can always negotiate with the listing agent, the buyer's agent, and bring their commission down. So yeah, 7% is more than good enough. So that's why I say you need to calculate those numbers here, because those guys are going to want to get paid for selling that property. Okay, so 187 times 0.07 equals $13,000. Your calculator should read $13,000. Okay, roughly. All right. Renovation costs. Now the investor's profit. Okay, should be about 18 to 20% of the ARV. Alright, so what is max 187 times 20% equals about $37,000. So we're just gonna rough that out to 35,000. Alright. So at 20% of this 187 came out to 37,000. We could just narrow that down to 35. We don't want to eat too much into the difference, because remember, all these numbers are going to determine our offer. Okay, I'm going to show you that right now. Alright, now finally for our profits. Okay, this is what we're going to make, guys. Alright, now if we want to try to make $12,000, let's just say $10,000, okay, then this would be our offer. Alright, so we're going to just simply subtract from 187 all the way down, minus 13, minus 22.5, minus 35, minus 10,000 equals 106. So our maximum offer is 106.5. Okay. In my case, I just finished putting an offer on that house for 107, just because, you know, I didn't put the 2,500 in this example. Anyhow, so that 106.5. Now I want you to basically tell me what bid percentage of list price are you. Now what that means is, because I've noticed a pattern. So you take 106, which is your offer, divided by the list price, which is what they're asking for. That gives us 6.69%. 0.69%. Okay, that's good. This is a good offer. Guys, I feel very confident on offers that are coming in, 67 to 70%. Feel very confident on those offers getting accepted. Once it ranges into from the 60s, I try to get it up to the 63%. You want to keep the numbers above 60% for sure. If not, something's wrong. But yeah, this is a good reference point to know, hey, is my offer too low? Or is my offer, is it realistic enough where it might get accepted? Yes. I've had properties get accepted for that, okay? So that's how I determine the offer for that property. All right, that wraps.